I'm literally a single guy who's never even held a girl's hand. Yet on the third day of the apocalypse, I ended up in the same bed as the ice-cold campus queen. Don't get any ideas. This is a zombie siege, not a romance drama. Although, it does feel kind of awesome. It's day 3 of the outbreak. These monsters, let's call them zombies, are tireless and super strong. Their eyesight's gone bad. But their hearing and smell are terrifying. Even just the sound of opening a can of soda or having a tiny wound that bleeds a little will draw hordes of them. In this world where order has collapsed, things like degrees, family background, savings, all worthless. Survival is the only rule. My name is Jiang Feng. I'm holed up in the men's dorm, room 416. There probably aren't many survivors left on campus. Most have turned into zombies, or become sushi in a zombie stomach. My entire worldly possessions, a box of milk, a pack of instant noodles, 3 sausages, a few candies, and half a bottle of water. By my calculations, this stuff might keep me alive for maybe 3 to 5 days. I'd actually made my peace with it. Wrist slitting? Too painful. Jumping. Yesterday, a guy in the building opposite jumped from the 5th floor, didn't die from the fall, but got swarmed and eaten alive. The screams. I still remember them. I thought of the most dignified way to go. Get bitten by a zombie, become one of them. I heard that after turning, you keep a sliver of consciousness. At least you can wander around campus, not go hungry. Just as I was leaning on the balcony, writing my suicide note, and kind of envying that couple in the opposite building, who got to fall in love right before dying, fate suddenly dropped a huge gift on me. Seriously, something soft fell from the sky. Thump right on my head. Then, a figure tackled me to the ground. My first thought, great, zombies can fly now. I'm dead. But the next second, what I smelled wasn't rot, but a faint, sweet scent. I turned and looked up, and was instantly stunned. Tu Xingran, that quiet girl from our class. The stunning, ice-cold campus queen. We just stared at each other. But the next second, Tu Xingran's eyes rolled back, and she fainted from hunger. Wow, even goddesses are human. They need to eat too. Looking at my last box of milk, I hesitated for 0.01 seconds, then fed it to her. That night, she had fever, all cold and days into my arms. I didn't hold back either, hugging him tight. Don't ask if it felt good. Ask. It was for survival. Waking up the next day, opening my eyes, it was Tu Xingran's face magnified. We were holding each other, legs tangled, even more awkward. Neither of us let go, until it started raining outside.
It's raining.
That shout shattered the tension. We sprang apart like we'd been shocked. At that moment, who had time for romance? Collecting water was the priority. In this apocalypse, water's more precious than gold.
Hey, you're Jiang Feng, right?
You know me?
Yeah, we were desk mates.
In that instant, my heart soared. So the goddess remembered me. The rain stopped. We collected half a basin of water. I pulled out a sausage, gave her half, and forced 2 candies on her. Watching her eat, I made a crazy decision. I was at the dorm next door, 414. It used to be a private snack shop. There's definitely food. But it's risky. The balcony door is open. There are at least 2 zombies inside. Tu Xingran wanted to come with me, but I refused. No way. A man's got to step up at a time like this. But honestly, I was scared. I'm just a regular college student, not a commando. I made a rope, sharpened a mop handle, and wrapped thick cardboard around my arms for bite protection. Before leaving, I stood on the balcony, looking at Tu Xingran. I figured this trip's a suicide mission anyway. If I don't say it now, I never will. Tu Xingran, I might not come back from this. Before I die, I have to tell you, I like you.
I know, but I'm sorry, I can't right now.
Thanks. The nice guy card arrives fashionably late. So embarrassing. I grabbed a stick, stepped onto the AC unit, and vaulted over the balcony like a tragic hero. Screw it. Even if I die, I'm dying on a full stomach. Zombies of 414, your buffet is... Wait, your Grim Reaper has arrived. The moment I landed on 414's balcony, I regretted it. Sliding open the glass door, the stench of decay almost knocked me out. 2 zombies inside saw me like I was their long-lost dad, howling excitedly, and lunged. My mind went blank. Pure survival instinct. I roared, raised that sharpened stick, and stabbed. The stick plunged into one zombie's gut. But these monsters don't feel pain at all. They kept coming at me, even with a wooden stick, and I used their momentum to pin one against the doorframe, try to close the door. But another zombie lunged, and I raised my arm to block it, even though my arm was wrapped in thick cardboard. Its jaws clamped down hard on my forearm. Its claws scratched wildly. I was trapped between 2 zombies. one pinned by the stick in front, the other biting my hand from behind. Their strength was terrifying. Outside, zombies heard the commotion and started slamming against the door. That flimsy door was about to give way. One thought flashed through my mind. This is it, I'm done for. Rejected from confession, and now getting torn apart? That's just too tragic. Right then, a sharp shout came from above.
Duck.
With a heavy thud, a wooden stick slammed down hard onto the back of the zombie biting me. The zombie was dazed for a moment, but didn't let go. At that moment, Tu Xingran, holding half a broken stick, looked as fierce as a little tiger guarding its food. Then came another heavy thud. The zombie's skull caved in, and it finally stopped moving. Together, we quickly moved the bed to block the door. The door was forced open a crack, but the zombies couldn't get in yet. Finally safe, I collapsed on the floor, gasping for air. Looking at the room full of self-heating hot pots, cola, and duck legs, I couldn't feel happy because I'd been bitten. Blood seeped from my arm, despite the cardboard and cloth strips. Teeth marks were left, bleeding, following movie logic. I was definitely infected. In despair, I told Tu Xingran, you should go. Take the food back. I've been bitten. I'll stay here.
I know you don't want to die. So, for the confession earlier, give me some time to accept it. And give yourself a reason to keep living.
Her words hit me like an electric shock. We'll talk about it later. That meant I still had a chance, but I'm about to die. I looked at her stunningly beautiful face, thinking, since I'm going to turn into a zombie anyway, why pretend to be a gentleman? Even as a ghost, I'd be a flirtatious one. I really like you. After saying that, I lowered my head and kissed her. The kiss was cool and soft. She stiffened, trying to push me away, but didn't use much force. The kiss lasted a few seconds, until a sharp pain shot through my stomach. I felt dizzy and passed out. I thought to myself, at least I gotta be a little flirtatious before becoming a ghost. Worth it. Am I already dead? After all, only heaven feels this soft and fluffy, and it carries a refreshing scent of lemongrass. So comfortable. I instinctively nuzzled closer, even wishing I could stay in this gentle embrace forever. Sleep for a lifetime, even as a ghost. This treatment is way too over the top.
Had enough?
A cold voice came from above. I snapped my eyes open. What greeted me was the dorm ceiling, and Tu Xingran's face, red as a ripe apple. She glared at me, flushed with shame and anger. My head was resting on her lap, a lap pillow. This is the legendary lap pillow, guys. I jolted up as if electrocuted. Thud, I hit the bed frame. Ouch, that really hurt. But the pain filled me with joy. I could feel pain. That means I didn't turn into a zombie. I touched my arm. The wound had already scabbed over, so those layers of cardboard and clothes saved my life. I wasn't infected at all. The fever before was purely from fright.
You slept like a dead pig, couldn't even drag you awake.
Tu Xingran turned her head away, muttering softly. Seeing her reddened ears, I suddenly remembered that. Last-ditch forceful kiss before passing out. Crap, this is more embarrassing than turning into a zombie. We returned to room 416, but before we could even settle into this awkward sweetness, the very next morning, the world hit us with a major version update. Before dawn, an eerie purple mist enveloped the entire city. The ground was shaking too, like an earthquake, but not too strong. What was even stranger, I found Tu Xingran sitting cross-legged on the bed, eyes closed, mumbling something. What are you doing, cultivating immortality?
Stop messing around. I feel a stream of energy entering my body.
Sis, are you so hungry you've gone crazy? I was about to laugh, but soon I couldn't, because I felt it too. That energy flowed in with my breath, into my lungs and organs. My body felt warm all over. The hunger and exhaustion of the past few days were completely swept away. What is going on? Just as I was puzzled, movement came from outside. I walked to the balcony. A guy in the building opposite was waving his shirt. On it was written, "Bro. This is the revival of spiritual energy." What? The zombie siege isn't even over, and the cultivation era has begun? And it's not just spiritual energy. When I looked out from the balcony again, I was stunned. Overnight, the once bare concrete ground had cracked open. The distance between the two buildings had widened by several meters. The trees downstairs, as if pumped with hormones, grew taller than the buildings. Even one of the teaching buildings was crushed and collapsed by vines. This isn't a university anymore. This is clearly Jurassic Park. The world has gone completely mad. The sound of plants growing downstairs is as piercing as bone shattering, as if they're pulling humanity down from the top of the food chain. It's not just the plants. Time is also acting up. The sun just rose not long ago, but my phone says it's already 10:30 a.m. I look at the layer of purple veil outside the window, vaguely sensing that this purple energy is our real cheat code for surviving this apocalypse. Just then, the guy in the opposite building told us another piece of information. He waved his shirt, which had words written on it. Kill zombies, drop loot. It turns out just moments ago, that guy killed a zombie and dug out a white crystal from its chest. He said it's called a zombie core. After eating it, his strength surged. Hearing this news, my hands are trembling. Isn't this just like an EXP pill from online games? Whoever eats more can rule this apocalypse. Looking at the zombies downstairs, their skin growing keratin layers, looking more and more like monsters, I realize. If you don't want to be food, you have to be the hunter. Tu Xingran and I exchange a glance, seeing the fire in each other's eyes. Although we have food now, sitting idle means waiting for death. I set my sights on the dorm room, 412 next door. There's a lone zombie there. If that guy wasn't lying, inside that zombie lies the key to our strength. Tu Xingran took out the knife I gave her, her gaze even fiercer than mine.
This time, I'm going with you.
Seeing her like that, I suddenly feel this soft rice life. Or rather, this feeling of fighting side by side is pretty sweet. The operation begins. We climb over the balcony again, storming into dorm 412. This time, our teamwork is much smoother. That lone zombie was easily dealt with. Most importantly, we found treasure, a bag of red apples that aren't rotten yet. Their skin is even slightly wrinkled, but in my eyes, they shine brighter than rubies. I pick one up, vigorously rub it on my dirty clothes, and take a bite. Crunch! The crisp, sweet juice explodes in my mouth. In that instant, the sweet sour taste flows down my throat. I actually tasted the flavor of civilization. I hand one to Tu Xingran. She holds it with both hands, as if cradling fragile treasure, taking small bites, even reluctant to throw away the core. Watching her puffed up cheeks, I suddenly think, to protect this moment, what's wrong with taking on the whole world? After looting the supplies, we were about to retreat, but we never expected death was waiting for us on the balcony. Tu Xingran was holding the supplies. Just as she was about to climb back into our dorm room, suddenly, a huge shadow darted out from inside the room. It was a chrono. That was no ordinary crow. It was as big as a turkey with red eyes. Its sharp beak was like an iron hook. It slammed right into Tu Xingran. Tu Xingran lost her balance. She fell. This was the 4th floor. Forget how bad the fall was. Down below was a dense, swarming horde of zombies, mouths gaping, waiting for a meal. In that instant, the world seemed to freeze. My mind went blank. But my body moved first. I lunged forward and grabbed her hand. Tu Xingran wasn't heavy, but due to the momentum, a tremendous pulling sensation shot through my shoulder. Hold on, don't let go, I roared. My face flushed red. The veins on my neck bulged like earthworms. A tearing pain shot through my arm. I felt my joints might break, but I wouldn't dare loosen my grip. The survivors in the building opposite were stunned by the sight. They held up clothes with words, shouting, "You can do it!" Tu Xingran, dangling in midair, slowly opened her eyes. She looked at my flushed, straining face. As I desperately pulled her up, for the first time, her eyes held no aloofness, only deep fear and dependence. And in that moment, I knew we were no longer just classmates, but comrades in life and death. Finally, I summoned all my strength and pulled her up. She collapsed in my arms, trembling. I was shaking too. Panting heavily, I held her tight. It's okay, it's okay. But was it really okay? We just escaped back into the dorm and closed the glass door when chaos erupted inside. The mutated crow that attacked Tu Xingran wasn't alone. There were 3 of them. They had turned the dorm into their buffet. But their current target was a huge bird. The bird kept making a cooing sound. A pigeon. It had mutated too, big as an eagle. Gray-white feathers. It was being pinned down and mauled by the 3 crows, about to be torn apart. The pigeon turned its head and looked at us. Its eyes actually seemed to be pleading for help. That look was so intelligent. Almost human. I felt sorry for the pigeon. Plus, those crows almost got my girl killed. I mean, my crush. Old and new hatred surged in my heart. You mess with mine, you die. I grabbed that. The mop handle, a veteran of countless battles, charged forward and delivered a solid whack. Since the whole world's gone to hell, I'll teach these beasts a lesson. Show them who the real boss of the storm room is. A crow was sent flying into the wall, its wing broken. Its shrieks filled the air. Seeing this, the other two crows lunged straight for me. Their sharp beaks aimed for my eyes. At the critical moment, Tu Xing ran, snapped out of her daze. She grabbed a coat to use as a net, swiftly trapping one crow and slamming it to the ground. Right then, that big pigeon that was being ganged up on earlier suddenly erupted. It cooed twice, and amidst the chaos, lashed out with a claw, pinning the last crow down and directly pecking through the crow's neck. The fight was over. The room was littered with feathers. The pigeon and I had taken out two crows. Another one was tied up by Tu Xingran. Now it's cowering like a quail. The big pigeon, however, didn't flee. Instead, it flew right up to me. It tilted its head, looked at me for a moment, and suddenly spat out a white stone stained with blood from its beak. A corpse crystal. Some mutated animals have these things inside them too. It placed the crystal at my feet and even took 2 steps back, as if paying protection money. Looking at this highly intelligent big pigeon, I picked up the crystal. Suddenly, it struck me. In this apocalyptic world, having a flying ally is way more useful than an extra knife. With this crystal, I could finally test that legend. Can you really get stronger by consuming it? I washed the crystal clean, soaked it in water, and drank it down. In that instant, a surge of heat, like molten lava, coursed through my entire body. My skin burned as if on fire. As the heat subsided, I felt my whole body brimming with power. The previous weakness vanished completely. I clenched my fist. My knuckles cracked. I felt like my current self. Could punch a bull dead. I still had one more crystal, also dug out from a crow's corpse. I gave it to Tu Xingran. After Tu Xingran drank it, the look she gave me was full of eager anticipation. And then came the iconic scene. I wanted to roast the crow meat, but I had no firewood. My eyes landed on the solid wood bedboard. That was a solid piece of wood, 5 centimeters thick. I exerted all my strength, barely managing to break off a piece, and I thought it was pretty tough.
Let me try.
Her fair, delicate hands gave it a light squeeze, with a crisp crack, as if snapping a biscuit. She broke that thick wooden board clean in two. My jaw nearly hit the floor. I almost dropped the water cup in my hand from shock.
My strength seems to have increased quite a bit.
Looking at the broken handle, I swallowed hard, a chill running down my spine. If that slap had landed on my face, would there be anything left of me? Guys, I have a sneaking suspicion that in this household, my status might be in jeopardy. With power, food, and a business mind were set. That big pigeon we saved decided to stick around. It's incredibly smart and a total glutton. Feed it a zombie crystal, and it'll do whatever you say. Staring at this sky-dominating bomber, a bold idea suddenly struck me. Isn't this the perfect natural courier? The distance between buildings grew, making trade impossible. But I have a pigeon. I hung a sign on my balcony. Zhang's Apocalypse Convenience Store. Now open. Simple rules. 1 zombie crystal for 100 grams of food, or 200 milliliters of water. The opposite building went wild.
Bro, I have crystals. I want instant noodles.
Boss, can I trade for some water? I'm dying of thirst.
I want to trade too.
I tied a plastic bag to the pigeon's leg, directing it to fly over. They'd put the crystal in, the pigeon would fly back, and I'd send the food over. At first, people thought it was pricey. After all, each crystal is earned by risking your life. But I wasn't worried. Evolved zombies are everywhere now. You can kill them, but without food, you're still waiting to die. Sure enough, the first deal was soon made, and then more and more people came to trade. That pigeon flew over a dozen trips a day, exhausted, eyes rolling back. It finally went on strike. I had to bribe it with a pack of crackers and an extra crystal to get it working again. Besides crystals, I got some other good stuff. Someone traded a sharp fruit knife for 2 packs of spicy strips. Another traded a phone with the last bit of battery for a bottle of water. It had several gigabytes of study material saved. Guys, you know what I mean. The weirdest was the last deal. A girl from the other building said she had something good when the pigeon returned. The bag was bulging. Right in front of Tu Xingran, I opened the bag. Wow, a whole pack of colorful pink, lacy lingerie. The air froze solid. Tu Xingran's face flushed bright red all the way to her neck. I swear, I had no idea it was that. I can explain.
Pervert.
Tu Xingran snatched the package away. She walked away in a bulge of gas. Do you still remember that she broke it off with her bare hands? What about the solid wood bedboard? This slap. That means she's on it, or I'll have my head on my neck. Although I was beaten 3 times, this wave did not lose money. Now I have 9 spar stones in my hand and 1 beside me. Force is worth the violent school flower of off the charts. There's another one, the express bird that dominates the sky. In the end of this collapse of order, I, Jiang Feng, even if it's just an ordinary college student, I have to take my goddess with me, step by step to live, even live better than anyone else. But the good days didn't last 2 days. Tu Xingran suddenly told me. She sensed the zombies downstairs through that aura. There's a terrible mutation going on. They're spurting. Is climbing up the stack. And there seems to be something more frightening on its way. Our convenience store that only peeps in the dark. The golden beast pupil finally moved, accompanied by a loud explosion of glass, a huge shadow. It smashed the balcony door of the 416 and smashed it into the dormitory. By the purple moonlight, I see its true face. It's not a zombie at all, it's a body. A mutant monitor lizard comparable to a crocodile, it's covered in the sucker-shaped soles of the purple-black scales. Buckle the floor in a pair of golden vertical pupil, full of greed, apparently our mountain of supplies. And the alluring breath of flesh and blood in the evolutionist. It led to a leak in the house. It rained all night. Just then, the downstairs body ladder has been built to the edge of the balcony. A few rotten arms are scratching wildly through the gap. Trying to turn in. Xingran, retreat to the corner. I'm positive I roar. He grabbed the stick and rushed up, but the beast reacted very quickly. A long pink tongue catapults out like a whip. It smashed the defense line of tables and chairs we had just piled up. The Tu Xingran reaction speed of sawdust cross-flight. A push pushed my tongue directly through the bedboard. Leave a deep pit in the wall. Crucial moment, big pigeon bomber shows its ferocity. It fiercely pounced on the giant lizard and pecked at it. That golden eye fought for us. The only respite in the cramped 416 bedroom. Instantly turned into a Shura-field mutant monitor lizard eating pain. The tail sweeps the remaining iron frame bed of the dormitory. Sweep the creak of the sharpened mop stick in my hand. Stabbed him in the back like a tire. It made my mouth tingle when I slipped away and watched the monitor lizard suddenly open the big mouth of the blood basin. Was about to lunge at Tu Xingran. Thinking fast, I grabbed the mutated crow that had been tied to the bedpost earlier. I had originally planned to keep it as emergency rations. With all my strength, I hurled the flapping, cawing black crow toward the giant lizard. Here's a snack for you. The lizard's beastly instincts were instantly drawn to the frantic, pulsing flesh. It twisted its body midair, opened its maw wide, and swallowed the crow whole, chewing loudly. Now, Tu Xingran understood instantly. She leaped up from the tilted table. Her fruit knife, glowing with purple light, traced a cold arc precisely piercing the neck gap exposed by the lizard's feeding. At the same time, I swung a solid wooden bed plank with both hands, gathering all my strength, and smashed it against the lizard's head like a rotten watermelon. I crushed half the lizard's skull. Its body convulsed violently. Its tail flailed wildly in a death struggle. Finally, after the big pigeon finished it off, by pecking through its other eye, this behemoth breathed its last. The fight was over. I plopped down, panting heavily. What was the crisis really over? The mutated giant lizard finally lay still. Its massive body nearly filled half the dorm room, reeking of decay. This battle made us realize we, after evolving, were no longer lambs to the slaughter. We were worthy of fighting these monsters. Let's see if there's any good loot. I immediately sliced open the lizard's chest cavity. Sure enough, next to its heart, I found a crystal, larger than a normal lion's whale, glowing faintly green. Overjoyed, I quickly pocketed it. This lizard was clearly far stronger than the zombies outside. This crystal was a true treasure. Just then, the corpses outside the balcony stirred again. Time to put this waste to use. Tu Xingran and I exchanged a glance. Together, we lifted the hollowed-out lizard corpse.
Down you go.
The several hundred-pound corpse shot down like a cannonball as we pushed it off the balcony, crashing into the dense horde of zombies below. With a dull thud and the sound of shattering bones, the corpse ladder instantly collapsed by half. The crisis was truly over. Back inside, I washed the green crystal, split it in half, and swallowed it. My bones felt like they were burning. My muscles seemed to be tearing and reforming. Over 10 minutes later, I awoke. The world before my eyes was clearer than ever before. Tu Xingran also woke up. She clenched her fist, a crisp crack from the knuckles.
I think I can actually bend those iron railings right now, straight into a curve.
Even though the crisis is over for now, I know. We can't stay here any longer. This building isn't safe anymore. The fight just now left this place completely shattered. Add that to the bloody scent of the giant lizard. It's definitely going to draw more monsters here. What's more critical is the mutated ivy downstairs. It's wildly drilling through and cracking the walls. I watch through the gaps in the floor. As young shoots push through, I make my decision. We have to get out of here.
Where to?
The cafeteria. There's a cold storage there. The walls are solid, and it's close to the supermarket too. We start making our final combat preparations. I take apart the iron bunk bed. I pull off 2 solid iron bed legs to use as heavy weapons. Tu Xingran, meanwhile, takes the alcohol we collected earlier, pours white liquor into empty glass bottles, tears up bed sheets for fuses, makes a few simple Molotov cocktails. This thing can save your life when push comes to shove. I carefully tuck the Molotovs into the outside of my backpack. We pack all the corpse crystals, high-calorie food, and bottled water, all into our own backpacks. Take everything we can carry. Dude, from now on you're in charge of aerial recon. With our packs on our backs, iron rods in hand, Molotovs hanging at our waists. Looking at this dormitory I've lived in for 3 years, my heart is incredibly complicated. Carrying all the old memories, we walk out the door. From here on out, what waits for us is a whole new journey.